Today's choke point came from KIRO Radio listener Nicole. She said, "Hey, Chris, check out this intersection in Factoria. It's pretty nutty. I want you to get your thoughts, see what you think about it." And this is the intersection of Eastgate Way and Richards Road, otherwise known as Factoria Boulevard. It's a block north of I-90. Okay, so you can imagine you've got an intersection just really close to I-90. And for her, she was looking at she drives this every day, going west on Eastgate and taking a left on Richards Road or Factoria Boulevard. What that does is that drives you underneath I-90 going into Factoria. And what's really interesting about this intersection, when they widened Factoria Boulevard back in the 90s, they're like, okay, I-90 goes over the top of us and there are bridge supports here. What are we going to do? Well, they cut back from the abutments there. And so what you have two left lanes turning onto Richards Road there. One left lane turns in front of the concrete support pillars. The other left turn lane goes on the other side. It's really, really nutty. So I checked it out. And I want to give you an example of what it looks like when people drive this intersection correctly. So you can see in this part of the video that the driver in the right of the two left turn lanes went around the barriers, the concrete columns there. Now in this video, I'm going to show you a driver that gets confused and cuts off the traffic and cuts in front of those barriers when it shouldn't. Interestingly enough, for the amount of confusion that I saw, when I went down there in 2 of the first 3 light cycles, I saw people making that wrong turn. The city of Bellevue, which runs that intersection, says they haven't had many complaints about that. They said the intersection is relatively safe. Of course, they don't track near misses like the one we saw in the video just previously. So what's the city going to do? They're going to look at it. They're going to study it a little bit, brought to them by us. We gave them this idea to take a look at. What is going to be happening there is they're actually going to be working on that intersection, but only for the southbound direction of Richards Road or Factoria Boulevard. Because there it's also really confusing for people. You have 2 lanes driving on one side of those barriers, 2 lanes driving on the other. So it's kind of confusing all the way around. The city's going to be doing a project there on the southbound lanes coming up later this summer.